Okay, well, hello my crochet friends. How are you guys doing today? So it's Sunday and we need to do a video about a blanket from my project pile, but I didn't just pick one blanket. I picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blankets from the project pile because they're all some version or variation of a granny square. Okay, so hello for anybody who's new here. My name is Jenny. Welcome to Granny Square Peg, where I have been sorting through my yarn and purging, going through my project pile and either finishing or frogging or whatever I'm doing with my project pile. So today it's all about granny squares. I've got one blanket in this pile that the middle of the square went sideways. That's this one. Okay. I have one project in this pile where I messed up on the border and I need to fix it. I've got one that came out perfectly perfect. I've got one where I lost my way and I wasn't sure what in the world I was doing with it, and I still don't know. I got another one that came out perfectly perfect, and then one that is not in a square, but it's granny in stripes, back and forth. Okay, so let me hang the first one up on the bookshelf and I'll show you. It literally twisted in the middle, and I don't know why. Nobody knows why. Mind you, anything you hear or see on the internet, people are guessing as to what happens with the granny squares when they twist in the middle. They are thoughts, opinions, feelings, theories, but you know, because everybody crochets a little differently, the theory might hold true for the person who did that particular one, but it might not hold true for the rest of us. So let me show you one that got a little twisted. Okay, so I have to tell you friends, this blanket, when it's down and off the shelf and it's all bunched up in your lap, is so cute, but it does not photograph well at all. But do you see right there in the middle, my square is actually sitting a little to the right. Do I know why that happened? No, I have no idea. I also cannot probably tell you what kind of yarn I used, or the company brand. Hold on, slow down. It is a number 3 light. Okay. They are baby colors. I know that the blue on the border is Lion Brand Baby, okay, and the brown, I do have a solid brown right here. I think that might be Bernat Softy Baby, and then this middle section, this is all a variegated that had brown in it, and I actually color matched that brown very well. So this brown is actually part of the variegated yarn. I don't remember what company or color it was. This middle part, it's got some greens, it's got some blues with this creamy white, and then it marled and went into brown, and then I did some creamy white on my own, and then brown, the variegated brown, and then blue. Okay, so you see that it is wonky in the middle. Do I know why? Do I know what I did to this to make that wonky? No, I have no idea. The next blanket I made, just like this one, came out perfect. So what did I do? I don't know. I don't think anybody knows. I think it's the greatest mystery known to man. Why do our granny squares go sideways in the middle? I don't know. So I call it a baby blanket. What size is it? I don't know. There's going to be a lot of I don't knows in this video because I need to get these videos done, and I need to get these blankets done out of my project pile. When I started my project pile, when I started my channel, I had at least 70 blankets that I needed to go through. They either needed to be finished, started, well, they were either slightly started and needed a lot of finishing, or mostly done and needed a little bit of finishing, and then some of them actually need to be frogged, and then some of them I just needed to write up some notes on what I did because I wanted to do it again, and I'm supposed to be selling them, but I do videos on them and I just throw them in a bin, and I still actually own all but one of my blankets. I'm having a really hard time letting go of them. So this one here, I don't have the ball bands, so I can't really tell you what yarn it was. I'm not digging out my tape measure. I don't want to measure it. I don't know. It's just a blanket. So, all right, I'm going to take the blue one down, and I'm going to put up a pink and white and purple one that was made with different yarn, but for whatever reason, that middle section didn't go crazy. So, hold on. Let's change out our blankets. So you see, when I take this blanket down off the shelf, when you have it all together like this, it looks fine, right? But when you spread it out like on a bed or on the floor, like, it just does not photograph well at all. So when I do go to take pictures of it to try to sell it, I need to do it all bunched up like this. So yeah, here's my border. What I did is I did a shell stitch, which creates a scallop on the border, right? Awesome. All right, so let's take a look at this pink one, huh? That I thought was perfectly perfect, but it probably is not. Okay, so if I remember this one, and mind you, I made these blankets so long ago. Let's go with like 2015, okay? I made them so long ago. This, I think, is all from Michaels. I think it's their loops and threads, and I think it's their snuggly wuggly when they were changing from being really scratchy yarn to being softer, but I don't think they do these colors anymore. So here's the variegated, which is showing a lot of pink, but there is purple and white in there too. Ah, there we go. And then when I was done with the variegated, I did a handful of rows of purple, and then I did some in white. And then for the border, I used up some pink, and I did a scalloped edge there too. I don't know the size of this blanket, no more than I know the size of the other one. But I can see it is a little offset in the middle there, but not as bad as the other blanket. So I did call this one perfectly perfect, but it's not. I can see it from here. It is just a little turned off to the side. But it still came out pretty well though, right? And this one will photograph better, but still, when you take it off the shelves and bunch it up in your lap, it's even prettier. Okay. All right, so let's go with the one that didn't go wonky in the middle. Okay, so there, off of the shelf, and look how pretty that is. So I definitely have to do some rearranging when I take pictures, right? Ah, she's so cute. All right, on to the next one. Okay, so this one is, I forgot to tell you that pink and purple and white one was still made with a number 3 lightweight yarn. So this is with a number 4 worsted weight, medium weight, okay? This I know is Loops and Threads from Michaels. It's their Impeccable. And this middle color is brown, pink, and cream, like chocolate ice cream, strawberry ice cream, and vanilla ice cream. And then when I got to, after the first ball was done, I did some brown. Then I did a second ball of the variegated. Then I did creamy white. And then I did this dusty rose pink for the border. And again with the shell. So I don't know what size it is. But for this one, this center part, it did not go crazy on me. Now, it might be just the way it's hanging on the shelf, but when I do spread this out on the bed or spread it out on the floor, it is fine. It did not twist to the right at all. So what's the difference between this one and the others? Besides the size, weight of the yarn and the size hook. Because the others I would have used an F or a G. This one I would have used an H or an I. So did I just get better at crocheting granny squares and it no longer twisted on me? Or was I holding things differently? I'm not sure. So again, this does not photograph very well. You have to take it down. You can't do these flat shots. You have to bunch it all up to take a picture. That one's so cute too. And that one worked out. It's nice and soft. It was when Loops and Threads Impeccable was going from a bit scratchy to a softer texture. Okay, so there we go. How's that one look? It's cute, right? This one came out super soft and it's so pretty. I see a yarn tail I gotta take care of. Where did it go? There was a yarn tail there I need to take care of. So like for these blankets, it's so funny. The yarn tails are all sewn in. The only thing I don't have is just notes and the ball bands for the yarn. I probably decided I didn't want to keep anything back in the day and threw it all away. So yay me, but now future me has no idea what I did to these. All right, let's go on to the next one. Okay, so the colors on this one are hard. In the middle there, that is a gray and white marl, and then a medium shade of gray, and then a maroon color to do the edging on it. You can see that this one is a little bit twisted to the right, because can you see the lines on it that where the corners are, right? Can you see that little X in the middle? So what I was going for with this one was a sock monkey look, because I really like the sock monkeys. But I had found one that was done in grays instead of tans and beiges, and I really liked it, and I wanted to make a blanket to match it. So I think that's where I was going with it, and then I just kind of lost my vision for it. So yes, it is a little bit off center, but I don't consider it to be too bad, right? Let's see if we can, there you go. Now you can see the gray and white marl, and this should be Bernat Super Value. Should be a number 4 medium weight. And there's the gray, there's the maroon, and that's cat damage. That's the cats and their claws. So I will fix that. So I only have 3 rounds on the border here, probably because I was running out of this color red. But again, I consider it to be baby size. But I mean, I guess it could be lap size for a small size human. I don't know. All right, let's take this one down. Okay. Give you a little bit of behind the scenes of what I got to do in between each blanket. It's like I got to do a costume change. So this one, I did lose my way with it, but it's still cute, right? Somebody would still want to buy that, right? I got so second guessing myself with all of this one. I mean, you know, it only happens thankfully with every 4th or 5th project, but I did second guess myself tremendously on this. So the next 2 blankets are not granny squares traditionally. Well, one of them is, one of them isn't. So let me hey, let me go take a break. I need a drink, and then I will be right back. Okay, while I sit down and catch my breath for a minute, there's Arlo. There's Bandit. Mom, what are you doing? We're playing with yarn? Ooh, can we play too? Now, I did try to get a clip of him talking. Should I insert it here? Yeah. So what are they looking at? Oh, hey! Ooh, there you go. Do it again. Do it again. I told everybody you talk a lot. Big camera shy now. There you go. I swear, he does talk to me. Oh well, maybe next time. Okay, so here is my next granny square blanket, like air quotes, okay? Because it's actually granny done in rows. You just go back and forth, okay? And I think sometimes this is the better way to do it because you don't get any of that wonkiness, right? And now this one was made with multiple cakes of yarn. I think I started out with, I want to say Premier Sweet Roll. There's at least one of those in there. But the other yarns, I think they were just random cake yarns from AC Moore before they had closed down. Sorry, I had to stop real quick. Arlo had tripped over a pile of books. So you can see this, the blues and the grays down here. There's a possibility that is, you know what, I'm not even going to try and guess. I'm sorry. I have no idea what the yarn is. And then you can see it changed into, it was peach, pink, yellow, and then from that into yellows and greens and whites, into yellow, purple, and white, into gray, pink, and white, into a white with blue and green. And then there's a tan color. I think that tan color, I went all the way around the blanket to do the border. Yeah, okay, so there it is. I did one round of this tan color all the way around, and then this is another cake of yarn, and then this is another separate cake of yarn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want to say 7 or 8 different cakes of yarn from different companies that I no longer have the ball bands for. And I just, as soon as one cake ended, I just tied in the next one and started with the next one. This is going to be one of my favorite granny blankets because I didn't worry about color placement and I didn't try to control the colors. And I made it wide enough to go across the lap and tall enough so it, you know, covers from your hips to your knees at least. So it's not baby size, it's more of a throw size for, you know, an adult human. But I like it. I like the granny done this way. I do not make this style or pattern often enough, and I should do it more because it is a joy to work with. So the yarn is, I want to say a number 4, medium weight. Let's go check it real quick. Yep, number 4, medium weight. This is just where it's been folded for so long. Okay. So some good colors. I know that they clash a little bit because that was okay. That's okay. But that white sometimes it's too much of a bright white and it really pops out and it's distracting. I wish I had thought to put some white down here instead of clumping it all together here, because I don't know, it kind of throws the blanket off a little bit. And of course this pink and gray, it really doesn't match, but I'm okay with that. I was trying to use up random cakes of yarn way back in the day. So I do like this one. This one worked out really well. And I should actually do some more granny and stripes. Do I have a pattern for it now? I sat down with my hook, sat down with the yarn, and did a thing, as I do. So there you go. This one is super soft. Thankfully all the cake yarns I used for this are soft, they're not scratchy. And I love the colors of it. I love the randomness of it. I do think it came out very well. Is this kind of sticking out a little bit? Yeah, but that's okay. So this one is one of my favorites, which is probably why I've had a hard time letting go of it. All right, and on to the last one. Okay, so I turned on the overhead light for this one. This is granny squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 across by 9 tall. Okay, now this is it's the stained glass effect. Okay, or some people still call it a checkerboard. All those colored squares are variegated with black squares in the middle. And then I did a linen stitch border on it, but I messed up on the border and I really do need to fix it. Now this blanket is awesome. I love this one. But mad at myself for screwing up on the border. Okay, so this yarn here, I still have some of this in my stash. It is Premier Eversoft. It was a Knit for Kids worldwide promotional thing that they were doing many years ago. Okay. Okay. I gotta go charge my battery. Crap. Okay, so where was I when my battery gave out? Okay, these variegated colors. I still have them and I'm working them up into my patchwork squares. There's 9 of them. The purple one, the blue one. So you would have seen these in a patchwork squares video. I like that one. I like that one. That yellow right there, I love that. And then Stone Path, they called that one, I think. And then the gray with the red and the black. So it does the stained glass effect when you do a granny square in a variegated color and then you do a granny square in a solid color, like especially with black. Okay, so my granny squares are 1, 2, 3 rounds, like I do, and then a round of single crochet. Evidently that is the way I like to do my granny squares when I do them small for a project. So then you see these are all black, so it'd be 3 rounds of granny, 1 round of single, and then I crocheted them together with a single crochet, which totally blends in when you do it like this. Like you can't even tell that there's a single crochet right there joining them. So I wanted a lot of color in the border, right? So I did what I call the linen stitch, where it is a single crochet, chain 1, skip, and then a single crochet. And then on the next round, you do your single crochet in the chain 1 space. So, I mean, it really does. It gives this awesome effect. I'm turning my camera, so you have to turn your head. So I did 1 round in black, 1 round in variegated, black variegated, until I got to the end, right? So you want to know what I did with this one. Instead of joining in the corner, which is usually the best thing to do, I joined a couple stitches before the corner. So here's the corner. Here's where I joined, which created a 5th corner. Me, I'm not happy with that. This is a mistake that is so noticeable. So I am going to sit down. I'm going to try to find an end and undo it, and so I can rip all this out and frog it and fix it, because that I can't. No. This is so wrong. So I am going to fix that. So this is one of my favorite granny squares blanket, made with traditional granny squares. And I love the way the border came out. Again, I would say it's lap size. It's not for a baby. It's for an adult size human, I would say, for the lap. But that 5th corner, I can't with that. I have to fix that. So there you go. There's a little bit of an up close. Should I sit down and do an up close of all these blankets? I will. But let's sit down and talk about them first, okay? Okay, guys. For my part, I am sorry that I cannot give you more information about these blankets. I realize that I spend so much time at my computer looking for photos from when they were made back in the day, if there are any, because sometimes I do sit down and make a blanket without taking one single picture. There are times when I sit down and make a blanket and I don't write one single note. So, and then there are sometimes when I'm done with a blanket, I throw those yarn labels away, and then this way I have no idea. So, because I spend so much time on it trying to find all the information I can possibly find, that the videos aren't getting done. And I'm one of those people who things have to be perfect. I am working very hard on progressing further and letting go of the perfection. It is not easy. I am a perfectionist by nature, but I'm also very disorganized, okay? So I don't have a lot of information on these blankets. I'm just going by what I can remember. But this this stained glass one, this one came out so pretty. So you know that we're in the middle of using up our variegated yarn to make patchwork squares that we're going to put into a blanket called the Patchwork Squares blanket, right? And my inspiration came from quilters from way back in the day when they used just little scraps of fabric and put them into a quilt. That's where my inspiration came from. But I've also been making granny squares with the variegated yarn, and I've been making corner to corner squares with the variegated yarn, which was done, I showed you guys how I did that in the last video. But it turns out I've been making small size granny squares for years. I know I have a bin in my stash that is solid color grannies. There's red, there's blue, there's green, there's yellow. What was I doing with them? I don't know. I was just probably making them because they're small enough to make and they're quick enough to make, and I just threw them in a bin. So I really do love the way this one came out, and I really cannot, the border, which actually, I think the border is fantastic with the linen stitch, okay? It came out fantastic, and when you alternate between the solid color of black and the variegated, it gives such a beautiful, pretty effect, right? It's so gorgeous, and I love it so much. But here's a close-up of this corner that it just, you can't leave it like that. You really can't. So I actually have to spend some time with a lot of light and reading glasses on, see if I can find that end and take it out. And I'm going to be taking out how many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or I might be able to go back to where it started. Now it started at row number 3 or number 2. So yeah, I have to take it all out and start all over again. So this one from my project pile, my stained glass granny, is going to be fixed. All right. So there's that one. This one, Granny in Rose. I don't need to do anything to her. All the yarn tails were sewn in. Okay. There's nothing left to do. She's gorgeous. And she's perfect. She's perfectly perfect. I love this blanket. It came out wonderful. Do some of the colors clash? Yeah, maybe a little bit. Maybe. So this one was nice and simple. Once I got done doing the granny in the rows, sorry, getting tangled up in my microphone. I just did single crochets for the border. I just went around and around for 1, 2, 3 rounds. I think, if I can see that right. I just went around and around until I ran out of yarn. That's what this whole blanket was. Once I finished one cake of yarn, I started another cake. When that one ran out, I started another. Now I know there's green, white, and yellow. This is definitely Premier Sweet Roll because I actually have more of this in my cabinet. But these other colors, I don't know. I'm not quite so sure. So this one, I really do need to let her go. I need to take some pictures, put her on the internet, sell her. Because she's gorgeous and she needs to go to a home, to somebody who will love her as much as I do. All right. This one, I really did lose my way with this one. I love the look of sock monkeys, and I love the story behind them. That old socks that had worn out and somebody somewhere stitched them in a certain way and then stuffed them and it made a monkey out of it, right? And then, of course, some company goes out there and takes the word sock monkey and trademarks it, when it was really just somebody's grandmother who had socks that were damaged and turned them into a monkey, a little puppet for the kids. So this blanket is done. All the yarn tails are sewn in. I second guessed myself with everything on this one. But I mean, I do like the color combination. When you got it all bunched up like this, it's nice. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I do have to find that one fiber where there was a cat claw, and I do need to fix that. But this one's good to go. Okay. This one. Here in the United States, in our ice cream section, we will find I think it's a half gallon of ice cream that is a mix. There is vanilla on one side, there's strawberry in the middle, and chocolate on the end, and we call it Neapolitan ice cream, okay, because it's got 3 different flavors in one container. When I was a kid, I only ate the vanilla. When I got a little older, I ate the vanilla and the strawberry. I typically don't eat the chocolate. I like my chocolate in candy bars. I don't really like it in my ice cream. So, but this one came out really cute. I mean, it really did. I'm pretty sure this pink is Vanna's Choice. This creamy white, I honestly think this is Red Heart Soft because it's got that satiny feel to it. The brown, I don't know, but the variegated definitely is Loops and Threads from Michaels. It's impeccable, and I'm pretty sure they do not make this color anymore. And I'm sorry for all of my projects. And you guys are like, what kind of yarn did you use? And I'm like, it's discontinued. It's all discontinued, most of it. And then hooks. Somebody asked me about a hook that I had, and I bought this hook like 10-15 years ago. For somebody like me, I'll hold on to my stuff for a long time, so a lot of it is old and there are no links to it anywhere. But this one, even though that like the middle of the granny square, it turned just a little bit, it's not noticeable, I don't think. And it's so cute. So this one, all the yarn tails are in. Is she ready to go? If you hear that, that's the cats running around in the background. They're like, okay, Mom, that's enough now, pay attention to me. So here's my border on it with the shells. My shells are, I typically make my shells with 5 double crochets or 7. It depends on my mood. I can go back and forth between the two. This one is with 5. Okay, so when you do 5 double crochets in the chain 1 space, and then in the granny cluster next to it, you do a single crochet. Just to bring it down a little bit, that's how it does the scallop. You do 5 double here, and then a single crochet, and it gives it that scalloped look. I gotta tell you, I haven't made a big granny square since I made these blankets a couple years ago. No, 10 years ago at this point. Okay, this one too. Listen, see, I told you guys once that all these pink colors of yarn that I have a matching shirt. You see this? It's so close. I mean, my shirt's a little darker, but I'm telling you, every pink color, I've got a pink shirt for it. Or did I tell you about all my rainbow shirts? Because I have green shirts and blue shirts. I have every color. Yeah. So here we go with this pink and the white and the purple and then the variegated. I color match these so well. These 3 colors here are from different yarn companies, but I color matched it so well to this. I don't remember this yarn. I don't remember where it came from. I don't remember what company it was. I could guess, but I would probably be wrong. But it's got pink, white, and purple, and my color match was so spot on. Here we go. And then there, right? This blanket is so cute. There's got to be a little girl out there that would love this blanket, right? And it all started with this one. This one was the first one I had made. Oh, it's maybe this one why the middle is so twisted, because it was the first one I had done when I decided I wanted to do granny everything. It's all granny all the time. Maybe. So I know I went a little bold with this blue because there is blue in this variegated color, right? Let me see if I can find a good section of it. Right there. There is some blue in there, right? And it's a lighter shade of blue and a lighter shade of green. So when I color matched the brown, it did pretty good. The brown's is so very close to what's in the variegated. But this blue, I know I went bold. I didn't like any of the lighter shade of blues that I was finding, so I'm like, okay, I can't find a color that I like that won't match, but let's just go a little bold with it. So that's what I did, and I think it worked out okay. So again, there's 5 double crochets. This one I did a little different. Okay, here we go. It's always me doing something a little different. There's 5 double crochets here, and then I did a single, and then I did 3 double crochets, and then a single, and then 5, and then a single, and then 3. So I alternated with my shells. So I made a bigger shell and then a smaller shell. Okay. So there we go. Those are granny square blankets that are in my project pile. I do have more projects with granny squares, but they have not been sewn together. I've made the granny squares and I've made corner to corner squares, but I haven't sewn them together. So I don't consider them to be even remotely done in a blanket to put them in a video. Okay. So what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Did I just do 6? Right? That six blankets in a video. That's a good thing. I know this video might run a little long, but I got 6 of them pulled out of the project pile and put into a video for you guys. Do you have a favorite? Do you like a continuous granny with multiple colors? Do you like the granny in rows or the stained glass? Which one is your favorite? You guys let me know down in the comments below. If you want more of a close-up look at them where I sit behind the camera and do it on my step stool, let me know. I could do that. I'm trying to skip that today. Sitting on the floor can be very painful to my hip. There's bursitis in my hip. So try not to do that unless I have to anymore. Let's see, what else? What else? I like making granny squares. So when people are on the internet telling you that this is why they go sideways in the middle, it really is just a theory because we all crochet differently. Can we get rid of how it twists? Yes. Yes. If you are doing a granny square that every single row is a different color, and I do have that in my project pile. I will show you. I've got a granny square. I worked it up to 6 or 7 rows. So it has 6 different colors. So after every round, I cut my yarn, I fastened off, and I started another color. When I did that, all I did is I started in a different corner. So a lot of people will turn their work and work on the back side. I didn't do that. All I did is if I ended in this corner, I would start over here in this corner, and that will help fix the that little sideways twist in the middle. So if you are working with a lot of colors, you can offset that twist in the middle by starting in a different corner. You can also when it's time to go up and then go for the next round, you can turn your work and work on the back side and keep turning your work after every round. I have not been able to wrap my head around that one and how to do it. I really do need to look up a tutorial so somebody can show me how they turn. Do they turn at the corners or do they turn before the corner? I don't know. So I know that turning it does help. I don't know if it gets rid of it completely because I myself have not tried it that way. Okay. I do know that way back in the day, our ancestors, they did not do the corners where they get to the corner, they slip stitch, they chain up, and then start the next round. That they actually did it in the middle of a round. They would get to here, they would chain up, and then go back the other way, right? And then, so like if they used variegated yarn, you could see the line in the middle of the row where they turned. And I do have a sample of that in my project pile. There was a blanket I found at the thrift store that does that exact method, and I meant to dig it out for today's video, but I couldn't find it. My project pile is too big for me. And it's not controllable. So I couldn't find it to give you an example of that. So when I do come across it, I'll show it to you guys. So, what else? Anything else? It's all grannies today. Oh, let me show you what my couch looks like. Because, all right, when I'm crocheting on the couch, everything sits on the floor in front of me, right? So, but this is also where I film. So I had to pick everything up off the floor and put it on the couch. And I have been crocheting like crazy lately. And I've also designed 2 different patterns in the last 2 days. I was drawing them out and writing down notes. I have been so busy and so creative. It's just going boom, 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 boom in my head. So let's take a look at my couch, huh? Okay, so let's see. patchwork squares, granny squares, and corner to corner squares that I've been working on. I've crocheted some baskets from Jada in Stitches with her pattern. Those baskets are addicting. I've made 2 baskets into cat beds. A yarn haul I need to do that I picked up some yarn at the thrift store, and I already did the yarn haul on that. Yarn haul from eBay. I found some melon berry from Red Heart Super Saver. My notebook, notes, a bin full of crochet hooks, post-its, my little bowl that now has more hooks and little balls of yarn in it. So that, I've been working on all of that. And there's the blankets we just did. Oh, and I have another yarn haul right here. And another one right there. I got Arlo kisses. I got Arlo kisses. I know I'm going so fast today. I am a little excitable today. I've been, let's see, obsessed with crocheting. I think about it in the morning, in the afternoon, at night, all day long. My brain is going about crocheting, that I haven't been able to focus on too much else going on around the house or in life. So I do get like that sometimes. I do get hyper focused. I do get obsessed, and I will let other things slide, like household chores and grocery shopping stuff. Does it get like that for you guys? I envy the people who can crochet for a little bit and then put it down and walk away from it and leave it. I don't know how to do that. I really don't. It's crochet all the time for me. I haven't even been able to read any books lately, and books are the second love of my life, or the first love, depending. See, it's all or nothing for me. It's either all crocheting and no books, or it's all books and no crocheting. I have not been able to find a balance to add both of them into my day. So I'm so far behind on my reading. I had a plan, and I am so far behind. I haven't been able to do any. And so when I'm done here, I actually need to do another video of a yarn haul and all the squares that I've made. I probably have enough squares to make a blanket already. I'm working on a little sample so I can show you how to put this patchwork squares together. So I am working on that. Okay, so that should be coming soon. Remember how much I love you guys, and thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, for liking, for commenting, for subscribing. You guys are awesome, and I want you to keep being awesome. And outro. Now, all right, I will catch up with you guys later. Bye.